Situations can cause our brain to be flooded with emotions, but learning how to self-regulate can cause those waters to be still. In a previous video, I explained how self-awareness was the key to understanding your emotions, and when you understood your emotions, you could change your behavior. Now, the second step in controlling your emotions is through a process called self-regulation. In other words, learning how to think before you act. So what does it mean to self-regulate? Well, let's break down the word. Regulate means to maintain the rate or the speed of something. And self, well, that's just one's own person. So if we put it together to give us a working definition, self-regulation means to control your own emotions. So self-regulating your emotions is not just about stopping an outburst, but it's also about managing your emotions, such as when you experience them, how you experience them, and most importantly, how you express them. For example, if you're grieving, knowing how to self-regulate will stop you from going into a deep depression. Or if you have uncertainty, knowing how to self-regulate won't let fear stop you from doing something. Emotional regulation is not something that we're born with. It's something that we have to learn. And we teach it to children as young as 2 years old. And I'll talk about that in another video about teaching emotional regulation to children. But once you learn it, it will help you with any of life challenges and any changes that happen in life. And it'll also help you grow as an individual. Now I'm going to share with you 5 ways to encourage self-regulation. Let's say something is stressing you out. Give yourself a timeout so you'll be able to put distance between what you're feeling and how you're reacting to it. And when you take this time out, take the time to do something enjoyable, like go for a walk, be with your friends, talk on the phone. You're doing this so you can figure out a way to handle the situation in a more positive way. The next one is called the 6-second rule. Studies show that the chemicals for emotions are absorbed in the body in about 6 seconds. So if you pause for a moment, it will allow those chemicals being produced to be slowed down. So give yourself a 6-second pause to collect your thoughts and reflect on what the person is saying. The next one, I call it purposeful action. And the purposeful action that you're going to do with this one is you're going to do deep breathing. So you're going to take a deep breath from your diaphragm. You're going to hold it for 3 seconds. And you're going to let it out. And while you're doing this, you're going to say things like, I am relaxed. Everything's going to be okay. I've got this. The next one is knowing when to speak, when to let your emotions out, and when you just may need to sit with those emotions. I call this responding versus reacting. Reactions are instinctive. There's no filter. You say and do things without thinking. You don't think about consequences. You just act. Someone had a very good analogy, and they said reactions are like an untrained puppy. Think about it. When a puppy is untrained, he barks at all the dogs he sees. He jumps on everything. He tears up things. He gives no thought to what he's doing. Responses are more thoughtful. You explore the consequences in your mind. You weigh the pros and cons. You see how your actions will affect you and it will affect the other person. So responses are like a well-trained dog who only barks when it's necessary. And finally, practice empathy. Change your perspective. Try to understand what the person is facing that caused them to react that way. Remember, their emotions are every bit as valid and real as yours. There's a quote that I love by a psychologist named Viktor E. Frankl, and it says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Self-regulation is possible. So take a deep breath, relax, because you've got this. Thank you for watching my video. I have a lot more content to share. So click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of it. And go ahead and like and share it with your friends.